So this is all about the utilization of flow net and how it is actually used for the calculation of seepage force, uplift force, and factor of safety against the soil erosion and piping condition, and to avoid the soil boiling condition. So what we do here, as I mentioned, you can provide a granule filter layer on the downstream end. So how it works? It works like a filter. You know, when you pour the tea, on a filter, then what happens? The tea actually smoothly flows through the filter, but then it retains the tea leaf. So in the same way, this filter media actually works. You can see here on the left hand side, there is a water with soil particles, and this filter material is placed here. So what it does, it retains the soil particles, but then allows the water molecules to move. So the wide opening of this filter media should be selected in such a way that the wide opening is smaller than the particle size, but at the same time, it should be large enough to allow the smooth passage of water. So it has two contradictory requirements to be fulfilled. It has to serve the two purposes at the same time. So what we say, the wide opening of the filter media should be small enough to retain the soil particles, but at the same time, it should be large enough to allow the smooth passage of seeping water. And to fulfill these two contradictory requirements, a lot of research has been done since Tarjagi in 1923, in 20s to 40s. A lot of research has been done, and this research is still going on. A lot of people are doing research, and they are actually trying to provide an optimized solution. And I will explain to you what was the challenge. What is the actual challenge when you actually try to design the filter media. You can see here. This is a this is a typical cross section of an earthen dam. This is the typical dam section. This is a zone dam section, which is actually shown on the screen. I hope you can see this. Now you can see there is a shoulder. These on the two sides. This is the upstream side, and this is the downstream side. And there is a core here, and then you provide shoulders on both sides. So what these shoulders do, they actually give the stability to the structure. So the purpose of these shoulders or these shell are to provide stability to the structure because they have weight. So through weight, because the water which is retained on the upstream side actually exerts a lot of hydrostatic pressure on this structure. So they have to make bulky so that and they have to ensure huge weight. So these shells or this outer structure actually provides the stability to the structure. But when it comes to core, they actually the purpose of this core is to retain the water. Like the coefficient of permeability of this core material is very less, maybe 10 to power minus 8 meter per second. So with this very low value of coefficient of permeability, this core is able to retain the water on the upstream side. Now let us see. You can see here this. You can see here the filter media is provided on this side, on the downstream side, not on the upstream side. Can you explain the reason? Can you understand the reason why it is not provided on this side? Because you know that this shell material is a coarse material. This is a coarse material, and they have large particles. And if you just see this side and this side, I just compare, and then I will explain that why it is not done. So if you just see the left hand side, you can see here this is the core, and uh, this is a shell. So this is a shell, this is a core. You know that this core material is a fine material. It can be clay, and this is actually shell material, which is a bulky material. So it can be it is a coarse material which can be gravel or of that size. So you see from this side, this core material is a fine material, so the void size, a wide opening in the core material is very small. So it is not at all possible that these bigger size particles enter into the voids of this finer material. But when you see the downstream end, when you see the downstream end, you see here what is happening. This is a coarse material. This is a coarse material, and the size of these coarse materials are large, and because of that, the void size are large here, and these particles are finer in nature. So on the downstream side, when the seepage flow is taking place from upstream to downstream side, it will exert seepage force on these smaller particles, and then these smaller particles will have the tendency to move move into the voids that are available. So they will easily move in the voids like this, and then it will wash away. So after some time, nothing will be left here. So what exactly is done? You provide a layer of granule filter media here on the downstream side of the core. So what it does, it retains the particle here, and it allows the smooth passage of seeping water. So like that, this serves the purpose. Why you provide the granule filter layer, and what are those critical locations that are used for this granule filter media. So now you see that granular filter media was designed using Tarjagi's concept. So Tarjagi was the first person who actually proposed the idea of designing the granular filter media. So he gave two criteria. One is the permeability criteria, and another is the soil retention criteria. What it says, D15F upon D15B should be more than 4. You know that F means filter, B is the base material, and D15 means size that corresponds to 15% finer. And this can be obtained from the particle size distribution curve of the base soil and filter media. So here you see, because we don't know the particle size distribution of the filter media, so we have to get the particle size distribution of the filter media. After getting the D15 and D85 value of the base material. So B is the base. So the concept was very simple. What is suggested? You get the particle size distribution of the base soil, and based on that, you design the particle size distribution of the filter media. So it can be explained here. You see here, this red line actually shows the particle size distribution of the base soil, which has to be protected, which is drawn on the scale of on the x-axis it is particle size, and on the y-axis it is percentage finer. And from the particle size distribution curve of the base soil, you can easily get the value of D15B and D85B like this. So for an example, I have taken the value of D15B as 1 mm and value of D85B as 10 mm. And if I follow this criteria, Tarjagi's filter design criteria, what I will get? From first criteria, I'm going to get the value of D15F more than 4 mm. You can see here. D15F by D15B should be more than 4. So if the D15B value is 1, so the D15F should be more than 4 mm. If I follow the second criteria, D15F upon D85B less than 4, so what I'm going to get? I'm going to get the value of D15F less than 40 mm. Because D85B is 10, so D15F value will be less than 40 mm. So now you see, you get a range of D15F. So what Tarjagi suggests, you draw a particle size distribution curve. If you want to get the particle size distribution curve of the filter media, what you have to do, you have to draw a particle size distribution curve like this that actually falls within the range of this D15F. So what is the challenge here? Now you see, I'll explain to you. If I just follow the criteria D15F upon D15B more than 4 and D15F upon D85B less than 4. So because I got the value of D15B as 1 mm, 1 mm, and I got the value of D85B as 10 mm. So you can see from first equation, I'm going to get the value of D15F more than 4 mm. And from second criteria, I'm going to get the value of D15F less than 40 mm. So what I'm going to get? I'm going to get a range of D15F. Now, Tajagi says that if you want to obtain the particle size distribution of the filter media, you draw a line which may be parallel to this particle size distribution curve of the baseline, but then it should definitely fall within the range. Like if you draw a particle size distribution curve like this, or if you draw a particle size distribution curve like this, which is outside this range, then these two are the wrong option. So what you have to do, you have to ensure that the particle size distribution curve which is drawn should be in the range of D15F, which is specified. Now you see the challenge. What is the challenge here? The challenge is that for a given problem, because you know that you have a dam, and the properties of these, the hydraulic conditions, the geometric conditions, and the properties of the base soil media, base soil is site specific. It is a site specific. But when you see the solution, you can see here there are infinite solutions possible. Infinite solutions possible. So for a given situation, how you can give infinite solution? That is the major challenge with the Tajagi solution. Or the person who has worked on the same line of thought, they have also proposed the same kind of solution. But again, the problem is that you get infinite solution, and that is one issue. Second issue is you don't talk about the factor of safety. You don't know how much is the factor of safety available with respect to permeability consideration or with respect to soil retention condition. So to resolve this issue, actually I came across a unique publication which I'm going to present here, because they were able to actually provide a unique solution for the factor of safety, to calculate the factor of safety of the filter media with respect to soil retention and permeability consideration. So these two equations, I was very much impressed by these two solutions that were provided. I have given the reference. You can the work was published in Canadian Geotechnical Journal, and you can see here these two nice equations which are given. This is the factor of safety value against piping condition, and this is factor of safety against particle migration. And you can see how nicely it is given. Like you can see all the basic geotechnical parameters like specific gravity of soil, unit weight of base material, unit weight of filter media, and thickness of the base soil, thickness of the filter media, D15F, D15B values, and existing hydraulic gradient. All these things are taken into consideration. And in the same way, you can see the second equation, which can be used for calculating the factor of safety against particle migration. Here also you can see weighted average particle size, angle of internal friction of the soil, and then applied hydraulic gradient, and size of the filter media opening, porosity of the filter media. All these factors, basic geotechnical factors, are taken into consideration to do the calculation for the factor of safety. So it is nice. Actually, I was very much impressed. So finally, I will conclude my session. Laplace equation is widely used for analyzing the problem that is related to seepage. Modern tools and softwares like Plaxis, Flax, Seep actually help in analyzing these seepage-related issues. Coming to the granular filter media, which is very much useful in protecting the soil from erosion and piping, and the analytical solutions that are proposed actually helps in gauging the level of safety associated with the designed granular filter media. So with this, I thank you very much for your patience hearing.